Are we live? It looks like we are. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the live lesson 2 for how to build AI apps in under an hour. And in this episode or in this stream, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can build AI apps using both the Google AI Studio and Google Anti-Gravity. Now, this is something that I discovered in the past week. Yeah, I know I'm probably a little bit late, but I figured that these two will probably be a pretty good combination with regards to getting the most that you can out of some of these AI tools. And I have to say, Google is doing an absolutely fantastic job with some of these AI innovations. But without any further delay, I'm going to show you guys something that I've already built, just to show you what's actually possible with these apps that you can build on the Google AI Studio. So, just an example. Let me actually go on the website for this one because it's already been deployed. What's going on here? Hold on. Let's give it a little refresh. There we go. All right. Let's access this app right here. And sorry if you hear me sniffling a little bit or whatever. I do have quite the flu or a cold, whatever it is. I'm not feeling very well. But just bear with me because I gotta get this content to you guys. All right. Okay. Now let's open up this URL and test this app. So as you can see here, you've got your light and dark mode. This is a pretty crappy one because it should actually change everything light. Don't know what's going on there. Anyways, I will just walk you through some of the things that I've done and I'll show you exactly how I built it, and then you'll see exactly how you can build something just like this or even better. And the goal of this task today or of this live stream today is to build on something that you can make in the Google AI Studio and make it even better in the in Google Anti-Gravity. All right. So let's say, for example, you've got your own AI agency. I'm sure many of you watching this do. All 50 of you, 15 of you. um, and you're looking for people who are going to be needing your services. So let's say, for example, you're building a lead qualification thing for plumbers, right? You're going to look for plumbers, and let's say you live in a particular area in the UK. This is built specifically for the UK because I live in the UK, so that's what I'm going to focus on. Let's say you live somewhere like Luton, right? And you want to get 50 leads. And the minimum reviews that you want is 100 reviews, and they have to be a minimum of 4.5 stars, right? Actually, Luton's probably not going to have that many people with 4.5 stars, so let's look somewhere else. Let's just go with leads, right? Wordplay. So now this will find your leads, and I'm going to press that button, and you're going to see exactly what we're talking about in just a second. But first, I want to show you a pretty cool button that I made, or that I told the Google AI Studio to make, whereby if you're not exactly sure about what it is that you're going to do or who it is that you're going to target, what you can do is, let's say this is your AI business, right? You do AI automation services, yeah, and your main benefit is you can automate admin, lead qualification, and scheduling bookings, right? So you just tell this app exactly what it is that you do, and it will find target industries for you, right? So if you just give this just a minute. See what it comes up with. All right, there we go. So AI automation services that can automate admin, lead qualification, and schedule bookings. And what it'll do is it will quite literally find you these industries for you. So it will tell you, hey, You should target estate agencies for this reason. You should target recruitment agencies for this reason, private dental and aesthetics clinics, and so on and so forth, right? Now, from my own personal research and from actually being in this field, I can tell you that these are actually some of the top places that you should actually, target as somebody who's in the AI automation industry. However, okay, just a quick thing as well about this app. Whenever you select whichever one, like estate agencies, recruitment agencies, whatever the case might be, when you select it, it will then autofill in these boxes here exactly what it is that you're looking for. However, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to show you this output here, and this is going to take a while. So whilst this is running, I'm going to go back into Google AI Studio and show you the exact prompts that I put in order to get this outcome, and you can see just how powerful this thing is. All right. Now, this might take a little bit of time, so let's go back here and let's just go through some of the prompts. And as you can see here, there's not that many prompts. So here I just said, I want you to make an app primarily UK, where I can type in the industry, the area, and the number of reviews / number of stars a business has, and have all the businesses that match the criteria aggregated with with the name of the business, industry, email, phone number, and all the other essential details. I want to be able to select the maximum number of results I want and to export them as a CSV. This is ultimately a lead generation app. This is great. So then it produced me a first draft. We're not going to be able to see the first draft now because obviously this is a few drafts in. And then after that, I copied and pasted the code, put it into Google Anti-Gravity, and I said, hey, what do you think of this this app, and what do you think needs to be added to it? So this feedback is actually what I got back from Google Anti-Gravity. So now I just copied and pasted that feedback, put it into Google AI Studio, and then it's optimized the app at this point. So it's added the lead scoring status, detailed lead draw, search history, real-time feed for progress feedback, and data structure updates. And then I said, hey, this takes way too long to produce results, and you didn't implement everything I said. So there are some times where you're going to have to ask it multiple times to do the thing that you've asked it to do. So just bear in mind that the first time you ask it to do something, and maybe even the second time, it may not work. And part of that may be due to the length of the prompt itself and the complexity of each stage that you're asking it to do. So just be wary of that when you're using Google AI Studios. I've come to find that the simpler the demand, the better, and it's better to do them sequentially rather than giving it a block of text to say, hey, produce this for me. All right. Now I've added these elements here, and then I said, I want you to add a feature that allows the user to tell you what type of business they are and the benefit their businesses provides, and what type of businesses would be best for them to target, and or even tell them while they are doing their search. So this is where we then get that little where are we? This is where we get this little output that we get here, right? That's how it happens. So as we can see here, if you are looking for plumbers within Leeds, you have now got 50 different plumbers that you can look at that all have over 100 reviews. You've got their emails, you've got their phone numbers, you've got the links to the websites, their ratings, how hot they are as a lead. And I know this isn't exactly a hot lead in the sense that you haven't already contacted them and just looked at what it is that they're looking for, or you haven't had an AI scrape through the website and see whether or not they're missing the service that you provide. So I understand it's not necessarily hot per se, but at the same time, you can add on top of this to make it as specific as you want, because I think some of the best things, some of the biggest benefits that you can get from these new AI tools is actually that you can build your own apps. And it's not for you to sell them. It's not necessarily for you to make $1 million, MRR or anything like that. It's actually about the fact that, let's say you're on an app or you're using an app and now you're told, oh, let's say, for example, you're using Apollo. Apollo is a lead generation service, right? It finds a bunch of things for you. If you're now on Apollo and you're looking for a certain type of business or whatever the case might be, and now they're charging you, I don't know, £100 or however much, or £25, it doesn't really matter. Whatever amount of money they're asking you to pay, you can then just jump on Google AI Studio and make your own lead generation app. Like this one is something that I'm going to be using personally and specifically because it's extremely useful. And I'm also going to be connecting it to what's called Appify. And I'll walk you through that as well later on. But the point being, like I said, This is something that you're going to be able to use for your own benefit to level up your own business. You can do your own lead generation, your own automations, your own lead qualification, and that is what I see as the true benefit of some of these apps or some of these new tools. So I'm not going to sell you a dream to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're going to be able to make so much money building these super mature apps and whatnot. Not the case. Definitely not the case. It's still going to take a lot of effort. AI is not at the point where it can make super mature apps without an expert in the mix. So if you're not an expert at front end, you're not an expert at back end, you're not an expert at machine learning ops or anything like that, don't worry about it. This is for you or for those people who have something that they can sell, and this is something that they can use in order to sell that thing, right? Cool. So, some of the other functionalities in this app is you can save the list. So you can, let's just save this as UK, or let's just say leads plumbers. Now it's going to save down here, and then you can also save it as a CSV. And as you can see here, it's saved it as a CSV. Now, I'm showing you all of this because that you can actually add whatever features that you want into this app, so long as you know it's within the Google wheelhouse, of course. But the point being that there's almost no limit to what it is that you're able to do. That's really what's quite amazing here. So again, like I said, I've really used a few different um, prompts to get to this point. And you could also see the code as well. You've got the back end, everything to do with what it is that you're seeing, obviously. What else is the back end? But I think later on I'm also going to show you some of the other apps that I've made as well, just because I think there is quite a lot of breadth with regards to what's possible with Google AI Studio. But what we're going to do next is we're going to go back here, we're going to take this code, and we are going to download the code as a zip file. Now you might ask me, hey, I see a little GitHub sign there. Why didn't you sync to GitHub instead of downloading the code? Well, I'll show you. It's because for some reason Google have decided not to, figure out how this GitHub integration works. And for that reason, the GitHub integration actually isn't possible. So that sucks, doesn't it? Maybe for you guys it might be possible, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. But as for myself, I've not been able to get it to work since I started using this over a week ago. So, you know, it's not something that is available to me, but if it is available to you, this is so much better. Okay? See, I've already, you know, got access to it. Let me just uninstall it and see what happens. Uninstall it and revoke. Okay, so now there's no Google apps whatsoever. Cool. Now I'm going to show you exactly what it does. It's probably going to do this for you too. Even if you look at some of the forums, you're going to see the same issues. So yeah, it's not fun, is it? Cool. So even if I just do this, make it private, create GitHub repository, it's always going to say failed to create repository, authentication error, please try again. So for all that reason, this is why we're downloading the zip of the code as opposed to actually, using the GitHub repository, which sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. But we do always have alternatives, right? So I've actually already got a lead gen agent workspace. So I'm just going to create a new chat within that workspace. And I'm going to ask it to actually let me open up the editor. Okay, let's open up over here. Let's close all of this because none of this is exactly what we're looking for. And we're going to open up a new chat. So where is that? Where is it? It's saying that my workspace does not exist, which is odd. Okay, so let's just type in just to see if it's going to pull up. Okay, cool. Let's see. I wanted to open a specific folder. I'm just going to open it up on my other screen so you guys don't see that. Let's see if this works. Also, for your own reference, I am not using Google or Gemini 3 Pro. I'm actually using Claude Opus 4.6 Thinking. Why? Because it's just so much better with regards to doing exactly what I'm asking it to do, as well as not making some of the mistakes that I don't like Google making. So, as far as I'm concerned, Claude Opus 4.6 is the best model to use within this framework. All right. Now, let's see if I can just add this in here. Now, what is going on? Slightly jarring. Okay, that's fine. I can just point to the file path. Since it has access to my folders, cool. Yes, you can run. Saying it's empty. Interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, interesting. Let me just directly drop the folders into there. Certainly not empty. Okay. Reject. Okay, what about this? So I've just unzipped to myself. So what about this file? Yep. No, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so copy that code into the current workspace and review how I might improve this app using Appify. Now, the reason I'm looking to use Appify again is because it's a lot more of a sophisticated web scraper. So what you saw earlier actually was the outputs for everything that you can find on Google. However, when it comes to lead generation and especially reaching out to these leads, you're actually going to want the decision makers. You're going to want specific people. So with regards to having this for a lead, a marketing agency or even for an AI automation agency, if I'm being honest, getting the info or at hello email doesn't really work. You're going to have to get a decision maker or at least somebody who has any authority within the company in order to actually make it viable, right? Now let's see what's going on here. Okay. Yep, cool. Just writing all these files, analyzing it. Master's doing all this. Let me show you Amplify. Now, for those of you who don't know what Amplify is, it's essentially a web scraping platform. There's so many things you can scrape. You can scrape YouTube channels. You can scrape, Airbnb, Google Maps, Twitter or X. You can scrape pretty much everything. And I can show you the Amplify store here. As far as everything that you can scrape, it's literally a who's who of what you can scrape, right? YouTube comments, YouTube, even YouTube details with regards to, like on the contact us side of things. LinkedIn, Reddit, everything you could possibly ask for, well, nearly everything you can scrape. And if you don't already have something here, it's very easy to make a scraper too. And you can also make be a good little bit of money doing this as well if you're good at making scrapers. But that's not what we're here for. What we are here for is the lead scrapers. Oh, no, let's see, where is it? Right, we look for the lead scrapers. Now, essentially, what you can do here, select the number of leads. Now, because I'm using the free version, I've got $5 here, but it is ultimately free. I can only make I can only do 100 runs at a time, which is fine. But what this allows me to do is select a job title, select the location to include, locations to exclude, email status validated, the company website, the size of the website, the company, industry, keywords, all these different things. And it is, like I said, it's free. So if we look here, it is only $2 per 1,000 leads fetched. And as you can see at the bottom here, we have $5 on the starter plan or the free plan. So you actually get what, if this is the only thing you're going to use it for, as it is for me, you can easily get like what 2,500 script leads, which is absolutely amazing, right? But we're going to start with 100. But anyway, now that I showed you that for a little bit, let's see what's going on here. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do is, do you have an Amplify API account? Yes. Amplify API. Yes. Oh, I thought it would go next line. Oh well. Two, do you want both modes quick AI search with the Amplify script? Or should I place AI only entirely? Okay. Uh, two, what is it? Do you want both modes? No. Let's just use Amplify. And three, small backend proxy, I guess, sure. And let's take this into JSON. So let's just change this contact job title. Let's just say sales manager. Let's just say you're looking at Birmingham. Okay. And I don't think I guess we could use the prospects, but let's leave the file name out. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so Okay. Okay, yeah. That's conversation. Again, sorry about the noise of my nose. It is what it is. Now, I've never actually done this before, so I have no idea if there's any good, if this is any good. But, you know, I won't know unless I try it out. Okay. Let's just close this for a bit. We don't need that right now. So I've actually seen this before. Hmm. I have never seen this before. Hmm. Okay, we'll see how that works afterwards. Okay, this is taking quite a while. Hmm. I guess I was gonna ask you, can you use this in a CP server? I've never actually had it work for this long before. Yeah, I don't really care. I guess there's quite a bit to do with the changes I asked, but Looks like it's almost done. Let's just give it a sec. Alright, there we go. Taking its time. But I guess once we've done this, like I said, I've never actually seen whether or not I can use the MCP server. But now that I see it's an option with Apify, because I was just going to use, the general, what do you call it, the API keys and whatnot. But now we can see, now that I can see there's an MCP server for this particular scraper, this might just be way more powerful than what we were using before. Okay. I'm just going to send this in there just that it just, we don't forget. But anyways, as I was telling you about the leads finder, so yeah, typically you would have some sort of JSON or a form that you need to fill in and you get your outputs very quickly, very easily. You get the names, the websites, the emails, everything for the people that you'll be looking for. So this is actually amazing. It's way better than Apollo, Zoom Info, Lusher, all ones that I've used before, particularly Apollo. And like I said, if you go into this app store here, there are so many different things that you can create. And if you have any kind of proficiency with regards to web scraping, whether it's Selenium or one of the other Python scrapers, I forgot what the main one is called. Yeah, this is going to be super easy for you, like really, really easy. Okay, let's check the progress on here. Okay, is a machine where HTTP not connected Okay, well, it looks like there's potential for it. Um, let's see what's going. Let's see what's going on here. The MSP server URL was meant to be used as a backend endpoint that the app connects to. However, since this is a browser-based React app, the most practical approach is to keep calling that Apify REST API, but use the actor instead of two separate actors. Okay. All right, we'll see what the outcome is. Now, for the new viewer, what we were going through earlier in the stream was essentially how to create a lead generation app where you can put your details in, you can get your outputs and whatnot. And in terms of the output that we got it right here. We're able to get plumbers in leads, 50 of them in just a few, in literally just a few prompts and a few optimizations. We've got this right here where you can save your list, you can download your list as a CV, and you can even use an AI strategy advisor whereby you can just put your details in there and what it is that you do and what it is that you can provide as a benefit, and then it will find target industries for you. And if you click on one of these, it will autofill the search bar for you. So right. So that's what we've done so far. So what we're trying to do right now is to take that a little bit of a step further because as you can see here, a lot of the information you're going to get in Google Maps or even just, on the Google My Business, they're not going to be the decision makers that you need in order to get your foot in the door. So that's why I suggested using Apify because with Apify, we've got this really good scraper here called um, called Leads Finder, and I've used it before. It's absolutely amazing. You get direct access to the decision makers, whatever job title that you're looking for, whatever area, and whatever details you need, phone numbers, emails, everything. It's absolutely amazing. Now, with that, what I'm trying to do is actually integrate this into the app that you saw built in Google AI Studio and take it one step further and be able to make it more usable, more efficient, and more applicable for somebody who's actually, who's more well versed in lead generation. Okay, now let's see here. Okay. The app has two search modes. Uses the Amplifier actor from your MCP server config for real B2B lead data, and the architecture is user search, lead finder, verify, store, classify, display in UI, user search, Gemini and AI. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay. Um, let's see where is amp.local. Okay. Now what I need to do is open this in editor and I'm going to just take it off my screen so I can add some of these details and then I'll put it right back. Okay, give me just one moment, guys. All right, let's just cross all this stuff out. Yep, all done. Now let's get our Gemini API key. Actually, it's on this desktop right here. And then let's get our Amplify token. Yeah. Yep. It's done. Cool. Okay, now within the next thing we need to do actually is let me create a new no not a new file new tab here cd lead gen agent, see what's here. So is that what I'm working out here? Yeah, okay, so npm install. Okay. So let me just find out exactly because it's gonna ask you for npm stuff quite a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys like, how exactly to do it. Now I'm gonna be real. I don't exactly know how to do it, but I'm gonna figure it out because 99% of the stuff you do with all of this LLM stuff is just a case of figuring it out. So let's do it. All right. So npm install. Well, that's not working. So okay. How do you even get it started though? I guess is there brew install npm? Let's see if that works. I guess this is working. That was a bit of a shot in the dark. Nice one. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Now let's see if we can then do npm install. Hey, it looks like it's working now. Nice. Well, I mean, I guess that's all you're going to need. If it's going to tell you download npm not found, it's almost never going to be able to do it by itself. If you tell it to install npm, it's going to fail, almost no matter what you do. What you're going to want to do is, as you've seen, download, well, install brew. Once you've downloaded brew or homebrew, and then you can just brew install npm. And just to be safe, I don't know if it makes a difference, but do it inside the workspace that you're working out of for your agent. And then, things should be able to work quite smoothly. So now let's just run npm run dev. Nice. Cool. All right, so I've added my real API keys. Oh, I don't know. Those are getting deleted like right now. All right, that was fun. Thanks. Thanks. Thank you so much, anti-gravity. That was amazing. Okay. So let's just see how it works. Let's just find 10 leads. Check API key and try again. That is odd. All right, let's move this over back here. I mean, not like you haven't already seen it. Ellipse deep scrape mode and search. Okay. I'll just put something up on the screen for you. Okay. Okay, it's using the wrong model name, which makes sense. Gemini API. Gemini 2.5 Flash. Yeah, that's the one that we want. Okay, I can bring this back to you guys. So it's used the wrong model name. But I'm gonna say use Gemini 2.5 Flash. I know for a fact that they exist. Sometimes they will like anti-gravity will fight you as to whether or not something exists. So you have to be a bit firm with it. So I know for a fact that it exists. Also, if you look at the site you built, there is no two different modes. It pretty much looks exactly the same. I'm just gonna double check that I don't have both these running. Okay, let me close this one, terminate this one. Okay, give me just 1 second. I just need to get a tissue. Sorry guys, I'm just pausing the camera just for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, finally it's doing something. Alright, so in this mode, when you see the blue stuff surrounding the screen, what's happening is anti-gravity is actually opening up the pages itself and testing and taking screenshots and sometimes even screen recordings of the app that you made to debug it and to see whether or not there are issues in what you've done. So now that the blue hue has got disappeared, I can go back here and I can see it says error when saving screenshots, but let's see what it comes up with. Okay. I'm just gonna wait for it to finish generating. Actually, whilst it's doing all of this, I can show you some of the other stuff that I've built in the you know what? I'm gonna have to create a new API key and because this is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Yeah. This is getting deleted in the next few minutes because I need to get better at my content creation because if I'm exposing my own API keys more than one time, yeah, something ain't right. Okay. Where is there we go. There we go. So some of the other stuff that I've built, I built a habit tracker, I built a map genie AI. So if you're allowed to access your location, as you can see, this is the location that I'm in, well, my general location, and I can ask it different questions like, where is the best sushi in my location? Now it should be able to pull my location as part of the API call and also the key term sushi, search that out, and then find the exact places. So it already found three in my area in particular. But those are the top three roles, to be fair. To be very fair. I think it can probably do a little bit better because it has the links at the bottom, but okay. So let's say enhance place details. Also add a link for the place within the place card. Now I'm gonna get back to this. Let's just see how far this has gone. Okay, it's not going far at all. Um, just look at. So hold on. Let me terminate this first of all and see how far we get. So stop trying to open the browser. So sometimes this works really well. Sometimes it doesn't. I guess let's see if we change it to Gemini 3 and let's say try again. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it gets any better at working in the browser. Because it'll be interesting if Claude doesn't manage to work in the browser, but Gemini can. I don't actually know what it's doing here. Just gonna see what's gonna happen. All I want to see is my newly integrated app. That's all I care about. So let's see if it works. What is shut it down? What's the problem? Uh, guess I'm trying to see what's live, but I'm not really an expert. Crap. Okay, let's just locate ourselves to lead gen agent. And then let's just move this. Okay. Now let's see if this is the one that we're looking for. No. Okay, I'll run the npm install again, I guess. Okay, should be working now, apparently. Nope. Yeah, it's still not working. Okay. We're having a little bit of issues with getting it live on the local machine. And if it continues, I'm just going to ask it to push it into GitHub. Once it's pushed into GitHub, then we can essentially, you know, access everything that we need to from Netlify or using Netlify. So that should be it. That's what we're going to do. All right. But apparently everything is done. It's already connected to the MCP server. It's already connected to Apify. It will run the scraping from Apify. It will also run the scraping from the Google Gemini API key. But we're just going to have to see how exactly the anti-gravity works. Now, it is important to note that these tools aren't exactly perfect, right? If you don't already have a general understanding, as you've seen in the rest of this live, how to do some of these things, how to go about fixing them, how to do some of these installations, work with the command line, all these different things, even how to, work with certain AI tools like MCP servers, or, optimizing your prompts, all types of stuff. If you don't already have a general understanding on how to do this, you're going to struggle using something like anti-gravity. So it's not one of those tools where, okay, now that I have this tool, I can build anything I want and I never have to write a line of code over again or even understand it. It's not true. And anybody telling you that is lying to you. But I'm here to tell you the truth and to show you the difficulties of how some of this stuff works. Because I go through it myself. So let's go through it. All right? Because right now it's failing to, or it's refusing to download, which is fine. And we're going to try and fix that. Okay, so let's just okay. Now this lead generation agent should be working. Let's see how it goes. Okay. New tab, I hate when it does this. Okay, it's still forcing it to 3,000. Okay. Should I say? Still not work. Alright, let's see how this goes. If anything, I'm gonna probably change it back to Claude 4.6 because I thought maybe if you used it in Gemini Pro, it will start working better, but it actually got worse. It looks like Claude Opus 4.6 is the winner inside of anti-gravity, so we're just gonna stick to that. All right. Give it just another minute. But yeah, like I said, whilst this is going on, actually, hold on, is it done now? Okay, Control C. Let's just see if it's gonna work now. Nope. Something is horribly wrong. Okay, so I'm just gonna say still didn't work. Just upload everything to GitHub. So it's just not working for some reason in my local machine. Just gonna have everything uploaded to GitHub. Once it's done that, we can use Netlify or any of these other tools to get it into well, production. Okay, sounds good. All right. So that's done. What we're going to do is go to Netlify, we'll go to projects, create a new project. Yeah, it's fine. Import an existing project on GitHub. Already authorized. These are not the repos that I'm looking for. Where is it? There we go. Save. Lead gen agent, let's go. Lead gen agent 2, there we go. Now we need to add some environment variables, import from an env file. Now I'm going to remove this from my screen just in case. And let's get this open. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Okay. Okay. That should all be done now. Now it's in progress in terms of deployment. Now let's see how it goes. What happened here? Ah, okay. I see what it did. Okay, cool. Let's go to Gemini. No, Gemini. GitHub. I don't know why I exposed my secret, so that's kind of weird. Oh, this is kind of annoying. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happened. Yep. There weren't even actual API keys, it was just stupid. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, this should work just fine now. Again. Oh. Okay, that's even more annoying because it's also in the README and it's detecting it as secrets in the README. That is kind of jarring. Okay. Now it should be working just fine. There we go. Again. Ay, ay. Okay, let's just ask it directly. Remove the exposed secrets and try again. It was being a little bit more annoying than I expected. Let's see if this is working now. Okay, it's finally pushed everything that I need into the new repo, which is what I needed. Now let's open this up over here. So, all right. Now if I just go here, there should be a new repo. No, this isn't the one. Let me say it's not yet pushed it. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's pushed it. Where do we find it? There we go. Beautiful. All right, everything's there. Fantastic. All right, now we can resume to into a different repository. GitHub. All right, configure. And then we select exactly where we want it to be able to access. So we're going to go to lead gen amplifier and save that. And over here, click lead gen amplifier. Same. Yeah, all good, all good. Add environment variables. So I'm just gonna move this over here and open up my variables. All right, I'm just gonna set these up. Yep. This should work just fine. Let's see how this works. Okay, it's deployed. Now, to be fair with you, I don't actually expect it to be working. Only because there's a few things that I would expect to just immediately fail. So let me just find out what's there we go. I'm gonna open production deploy. Okay, there we go. Now I've got deep scope and I've got quick AI. So let's just try this one first. So plumbers in Manchester, 10 leads, 40 ratings for let's go. All right, Gemini key. All right, so this is actually going to be quite annoying. Only because this app has basically completely failed um to what's the word I'm looking for? It has completely failed to take into consideration what you need to deploy to Netlify. Completely. See, I kind of knew this was gonna happen, but now this is basically going to be the last thing that I do, and if this continues to fail, we can continue in a live stream tomorrow. Now, usually I only ever live stream on Wednesdays at around 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9 o'clock. But if I fail to complete something for you guys, then I will continue the live stream the next day until it's completed. That's just what I'm going to do. All right. Or I'll make a video. But either way, I'm pretty sure even getting this far, it is. Some of you guys out there, very smart, very intelligent individuals. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get over the finish line even without my help. But yeah, this is this is Kind of annoying. Now, if I don't get this done by what's the time? By 10 o'clock, I'm out here. But hopefully you've gained some sort of information, some sort of knowledge from this stream so far. But let's hope in the next 9 minutes we can resolve some of these conflicts. Now I just need to make sure that it does not deploy every single time. There we go. Cool. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Okay, cool. All right. I'm just gonna change everything to white, which is fine. Maybe that's just me being an idiot. That's more than likely. Go to these environment variables. Okay. All right, now that these API keys have been sorted, let's just go back to the project overview. Now let's open this app up. Now let's do the quick AI. Yep, let's see what happens. Yeah, if you're looking for. Okay, that means it hasn't updated just yet. There's an 952. Okay, cool. We should deploy this. What's that all publishing? There we go. This should just take a second. Now, if this doesn't work, I have no clue. Really? Are you being serious? maybe if we just copy and paste this into anti-gravity, it will fix it. Hopefully. Here's the wishing, right? Okay, cool. Now I just need to change. So this is my last attempt. If this does not work, we're gonna see each other tomorrow. All right. Okay. All right. This is our last chance. 9:58. Okay, this one's now done. All right. Let's see if this now works. Plumbers, leads, 5 leads. Let's just quickly get it done. I wonder why this is not working now. Yeah, no, guys, it doesn't look like it's gonna work. But because I've done the majority of the work already today, tomorrow I have no qualms about coming back. But tomorrow I'll be back at around 6 p.m. UK time. So I'm not gonna be as late as I usually am. Sorry about the coffee. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I think generally, even though I didn't get to the end of the thing that I was trying to do, you can still really get a lot of, or I hope so anyway, a lot of value from what I was trying to do here, maybe even expanding your mind with regards to what's possible with some of these apps and also some of the limitations and what issues you might expect to encounter. So yeah, obviously I'm quite new to these apps myself, but I'm not new in the LLM space. I'm not new in the data science or AI space whatsoever. But yeah, that's why I will encounter some of these issues. And so will you, even more so if you don't have any experience. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you tune in tomorrow and the next Wednesday for my next live stream. See you guys.